Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about the planning and processes of getting married abroad. So if you're newly engaged or you're thinking about getting married abroad, please hit subscribe and you can follow us on our journey as we plan our wedding abroad. Patrick and I are getting married in Rome and we're getting married this September. But for today's video, I'm just going to tell you about the start of our process, which actually happened last August. I'm going to give you my 6 top tips. I didn't know which was 6 then. 6 top tips to getting married abroad. So tip number 1, don't rush. When you first get engaged, there's a massive hype. Everyone's really excited. They're asking you for a date. They want ideas off you and it's like, whoa, slow down. When Patrick and I got engaged, we got engaged not this New Year's, the New Year's before. We really rushed into it. We knew, well, we thought we knew that we were going to get married in my mum and dad's church in Wales. We wanted an autumnal wedding. We actually booked a date for October this year, and we started to look at venues locally. Some of them we liked, and then we found one that we loved. We actually booked it and we paid a deposit down on it. So we were booked. We had an October wedding, a church and a venue. But in the summer last year, we sort of were a bit miffed about our wedding as such. We weren't enjoying it, we weren't looking forward to it, and we kind of started to reevaluate. And in August last year, we took a step back and we saw the price of everything that we were paying, and for just food and the venue was beautiful. It was just under 9 grand. That's ridiculous. Weddings are expensive, but that seemed a lot to us, and we thought to ourselves, could we get married abroad for that? Why hadn't we considered that? So tip number 1 is don't rush and consider all your options. Think outside the box. Perhaps you had never considered getting married abroad. Consider it. Just consider everything. You're hopefully only ever going to do this day once, so why not make it really special? So in August last year, we put the brakes on our wedding here. So I started to do some research on getting married abroad, which brings me to tip number 2. Decide on your country before you set your date. As I said, Patrick and I had set our date for October, but when we started thinking about getting, when we started to think about getting married abroad, we thought of Italy straight away. Patrick and I have always holidayed in Italy. We love the country and we know it quite well now. And we'd actually stayed in a hotel outside of Rome a few times and seen some Italian weddings. And oh my gosh, they are beautiful. So we thought, oh, Italy. But October in Italy doesn't promise to be as nice and warm as you would hope an Italian wedding to be. So we had to start looking at another date. And then we thought, right, August, lots of our family have little kiddies and we need to do it around school time. We thought of August, but if you know Italy, you know that August is a really big month for festivals, so that's probably not going to be good for venues and all sorts going on in the local area. So then we thought of early September, just before the kids go back to school. Our family can make it a whirlwind holiday and they can have a fab few days just outside of Rome and then straight back into school. So 2, decide on your country before you set your date. Number 3 is really important from the get-go. I know I said don't rush, but this isn't rushing, you're just getting yourself organised. Number 3, get yourself organised. And of course the cliche one to get, and everybody wants, is the wedding planner. So get yourself a wedding planner. I took a while to find mine. I didn't find any I liked. I asked Patrick for a personalised one, but he told me it's too much money. So when we were looking for our invite stuff, actually, I came across this in Hobbycraft, and if you can see it, it's shiny. It's really beautiful and I love it. And actually, I'll show you as well, I got our matching guest book to go with it. These are really quite handy. They're small, so they can go in my suitcase as well. So get yourself a planner. And then, I don't know if you guys might use one, but if you do, you need a diary. This is your Bible. It's my Bible anyway, my diary. But this will have all your dates in it and deadlines that you can easily access, because you might not see this on a daily basis. But you will definitely use your diary. Mine is full of my deadlines of when I've got to pay deposits, when I need to arrange the flowers, when I've got to sort bridesmaids' dresses, etc, etc. So get a diary. I also have a lot of checklists, and I actually use that more than my wedding planner book. I've not filled mine in yet. I will do it. But my wedding checklist, I have this on the kitchen wall because I can see it all the time and it's constantly in my mind, and Patrick's. I think it's really useful that your hubby-to-be knows how much work, because sometimes we will just do it all and then tell them. Get them involved, get them to see what needs to be done, visualise it, and then they can see what's going on. So checklists, I use checklists. I also have a lot of spreadsheets on my computer. Because Italy is euros and we're pounds, so I want to convert and know where I am with my money, and I have spreadsheets for my, what do I have, my venues, my flights, if I'm booking rooms for other people, I just have spreadsheets galore. And the other useful thing that you might not think about is getting a separate wedding email. I don't know about your email, but mine is full of junk mail and shops and offers and stuff. And sometimes you might lose emails from important people like your venues, your flowers, your bridesmaids' dresses. You need to be able to see them quickly. So get a separate wedding email. These days it's so easy to set up a Gmail or Hotmail. Do it. Do it for just your wedding, and you can have it all together, and it's really, really stress-free then. You can just log on and see everything. Number 4 comes under get organised, I reckon, but you're getting married abroad, and sometimes the language barrier is really difficult. So we got ourselves a wedding planner, and it's one of the first things I did when I decided I wanted to get married abroad, is look for a wedding planner. I jumped on the internet and I typed in wedding planner Rome, and I found a couple that I thought looked really good, and then I looked at their reviews. I looked at their reviews on TripAdvisor, on their website, but I looked on Facebook as well. I think people are really honest on Facebook, you can't hide a lot on Facebook. So I really spent a long time checking that the wedding planner was really good. Wedding planners can cost a lot, so you've got to make sure the one you're getting is good and worth the money. But they are worth their weight in gold, because they can not only speak for us Italian, but my wedding planner had studied in New York, so she can speak very good English, and they will be there on your day as well. I would say 99% of the time they'll be there on your day. We've actually got 2 there on our day, and they're there to just help and make sure everything goes smoothly and stress-free for us. So tip number 4, get yourself a wedding planner. But don't let her do all the work, because this is your wedding and you want it how you want it. So tip number 5 is do your own research. As soon as we decided, right, yeah, we're getting married abroad, we're getting married in Italy, I'll book the wedding planner, I then did my own research and looked at the different areas around Rome, because we thought central Rome is a bit busy and there's some beautiful places on the suburbs, and we've been and stayed in Frascati, which is a suburb of Rome. So I did a lot of research into Frascati myself. I thought about the hotel we'd stayed in previously, but they actually don't do the ceremony that we need, and it wouldn't be legal. And we would have to be legalised to have a legal ceremony here as well as abroad, but that's not what I wanted. I want to go to Italy, I want to get married abroad, and I want it to be done and dusted when we come back. No more stress when we've done it. So do your own research, and it's really important that you find out if your venue can hold the ceremony you want. But look into it yourself, and then go to your wedding planner and say, I really like this venue, or I like this venue and this venue. Can you talk to them? Can they do the date? Blah, 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 blah. So just look at your own research and the venue yourself, and then go to your wedding planner. My top tip number 6 is probably the most important tip that I'll give you, is don't stress. When you first get engaged, it's really exciting and you think planning a wedding is going to be this dream, it's going to be so much fun, you've got a beautiful book to plan it in. But reality is, it can get really stressful. When you're trying to meet deadlines, you've got to do payments, you've got to speak to people. It can get a lot, and it can get on top of you. Don't let it. If it's getting on top of you, take a step back, leave it for a few days, and then get your book out. This is my top tip, although I haven't filled it in yet. Get your book out, have a look through it, have a scan through it, look how pretty it is, and fill a bit in and fall back in love with getting married again. It's really important that you enjoy getting married. For us, I'm hoping we only ever do it once, but I want to enjoy it. And there was a bit of time when we decided we weren't getting married here, we're going to get married abroad, I got really stressed. Don't get stressed. Just enjoy it. So tip number 1, don't rush and consider all options. Tip number 2, decide on your country before you set your date and check for festivals and things that are locally happening that may affect your wedding. Tip number 3, I'm having to take a breath, I'm talking so quick. Tip number 3, get yourself organised, get your wedding planner, get your diary, get your checklists, maybe put them up in your kitchen if you're a bit weird like me and you want everyone to see what you've got to do. Tip number 4 is get a wedding planner locally. I really advise getting a wedding planner. For us, we can't speak Italian, and I don't want the language barrier to frustrate me when I'm out there. They'll be there to help you on the day, hopefully, and they'll just make everything a lot easier. Tip number 5, do your own research though. Make sure that it's the place you want to get married and that you like it and you've looked at the local area. Do your own research. And tip number 6, most important of all, don't stress. It can get really stressful, but take a break, sit back and enjoy it. So I hope you've liked the top 6 tips for getting or starting the process of getting married abroad. My next video for getting married abroad is going to be all about invites. Patrick and I, as we were getting married in Italy, thought, oh, we want something a little bit different, and we'll do it ourselves. So I actually made our invites. What a load of hard work that was, but it's worth it. So next video I'm going to show you our invites and how I made them, and then it'll just go along as we go along the series with getting married abroad. It's just 6 months now, I think, until we get married, which means the legal bits start. If you get married abroad, you have a lot of legal things to do here and stuff to take over to Italy with you. I'm not quite clued up on that yet. I'm about to be, because I've got to start it. So I will be doing a video on that to help you understand the legalities of getting married abroad as well. But I hope you liked today's video. If you did, hit subscribe below and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys, bye!